Hello, Magnanimous Man. I have a question here. I got an email from a guy, and he says, I have been married for 2 years, and my wife tells me she does not feel heard or listened to. I'm working on my purpose and going back to school, so I can't contribute much to the money or to the bills, and I do put a high percentage of what I do to bills and save enough for dates and going out. The rest of the money I spend on purpose and doing the thing that I need to do to build the business that I want. She complains that I spend the extra money on my purpose and not the bills. To that I say, I will not compromise, and I already put a high percentage of my earning to the bills and the things that I spend it on and bettering myself and to get my business going. She voices her concerns about the situation. She tries to get me to get a full-paying job. To that I say, purpose is how it's going to be, but she is welcome to walk out the door. I am not going to work a shit job just to make some money. My purpose is number one and her number two. Okay, so this is about halfway through. Let me take these out. I don't really need them. I never say that. You're doing a lot of things that I think are right. You're really going there. You've got strong boundaries. You're doing the things that you need to do. But I never say that your purpose is number one and her number two. When you're in the dating phase, yeah, that makes sense. But, it really is your purpose is your favorite thing and she's your favorite person. There's a big difference between being her being your favorite person and your favorite thing. In other words, making her your purpose. That's a bad thing. But for her, she's literally just feeling starved for attention. All of these things that she's doing is just to get you away from whatever it is. She's competing with your purpose. And that's what you don't want. So the thing is, you got to bring her in with the purpose. You're a family unit now. You're married. So she needs to be along for the journey. And she understands that it's important to you, but she's starving. So she's competing for your purpose, and you don't want to create a situation where she's competing for your purpose, because when that happens, these are the things she'll say. She'll try to pull you away from it. She'll tell you, hey, why don't you just get a real job? Why don't you just do this or that? Really what she's saying is she needs more attention. When I'm not working my part-time and doing school, my purpose is give her 100% of my attention. Okay, well, that's really good. I'm glad you are, but something's disconnecting here. Sometimes she can be rude and disrespectful with no prompting. That's a symptom. That's a symptom of not feeling heard and understood. It's not that per se. I tell her, don't speak to me like that and to talk to me when she's ready to be sweet. Now, yeah, you can take a hard stance like that, but what you're doing is you're shutting her down again. As a man, you don't want to shut your woman down. You want her to open up to you emotionally. And when you don't accept a part of her that is being rude and disrespectful because there's an underlying issue here and you're unwilling to find out what that is, now she can't be open with you. She can't express her emotions and her sensitivity. And the thing is, you don't want her to be like a guy and be all stoic all the time. I mean, a lot of the things that you love about your woman is that she's open and free and playful and does all these things. I tell her, don't speak to me like that. And when she's ready to be, most of the time she's not able to calm down. So I leave and go to the gym and work out. And when she's back and ready to talk and be civil. Yeah. Because when she's escalating, because you're not listening to her. So she doesn't know how else to do it. So she escalates because you're not listening. So she's like, just listen to me. That's what she's doing in her way. So that's why she's escalating. You're causing the escalation, by the way. You're not causing it, but you're provoking it. You're encouraging it because you're not listening to her. Her major concerns are she does not feel heard. That's it. She does not feel that I love her when I'm unbending on my purpose coming first. See? She feels my priorities of spending on bettering myself make her feel unloved, right? Because she's contributing to the relationship and you're contributing to your purpose. It's like you're bailing out on it. She's competing with you and your purpose. She feels I don't love her when I'm willing to walk away when she is being disrespectful. Yeah. Because the thing about the feminine is they want to be loved and understood in all ways, in all emotions, and all of these things. And there's not that safety net for her to express herself. But the only reason it's getting crazy like that is, the only reason it ever gets crazy is, one, there's not healthy boundaries, but there is healthy boundaries there. And two, it's out of desperation because she's feeling unloved. Those are really the only two big things that they freak out about, or anybody would. The sex and passion is still strong and consistent. Now, maybe there's a fine line being firm yet understanding that I could do better. It's not a fine line. The thing is, they're not mutually exclusive. You can be understanding and firm. I mean, why is it got to be either or? Thank you ahead of time. Okay, so again, my thing for you is maybe do the 5 love languages, but really what you need to do, your plan of action right now is to sit down with her and talk to her and say, where am I failing? And you're not going to like what you hear. It's going to piss you off. And she knows the buttons to push to really test you. But don't let her push you off your path. Your path is your path, and that's good. But remember, it's your favorite thing, but not your favorite person. And she needs to be your biggest cheerleader. So you got to get her on board. And she's never going to be on board if she has to compete with your purpose. So your job is to fill her up 100% over the next few months. You fill her up till she's overflowing, and she will give you all the time you need to do for your purpose. And she will throw gifts at you. She'll love you for going towards what it is you want. Because yeah, you say the sex and the passion is still strong, consistent. And that's because she respects you. And she respects the fact that you have a purpose. She respects the fact that you're going towards these things. She thinks that's strong and that that's sexy. And that is why she's still sexually attracted to you. But if you continue to go down this road and you don't give her what she needs, you're running the risk of her leaving you, or finding, or some guy giving her that connection she's craving. Because right now it's just a problem, but it's going to become a chronic issue at some point. It doesn't take, if you ask women how long it takes for her to shut down and stuff like that, it's a lot sooner than they think. And guys will think that, hey, I can just, we're married and I'm just going to put the marriage on hold for a year. That'll be okay. We're married. We're in it for life, because men are loyal and by nature, and they think that I can just put this on hold for a year and just really focus on this. But the thing is that your wife needs to contribute to your purpose in a way that makes you feel free. In other words, she needs to contribute to your freedom as opposed to contributing to locking you down. And that's because you're not there for her the way she needs to be. Now, if you're just dating, I would say, yeah, she hasn't earned her way into this place, but she already has. She's your wife. So now you have to bring her along. You need to inspire her to where she needs to go, or where you're trying to go. But unless you bring her into this and into your world with this and sit down and have a chat with her and say, hey, I know I'm not listening to you much. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know I can love you better. Because it says you're there 100% of the time, but you're not. I think what's happening is you're hanging out and you're there and you're not doing other things, but she's not having that intimacy with you, not that really full-on connection that she needs. And when she's on your side, she's going to contribute to your freedom. But right now she's not. She's doing the opposite of that because she's starved. And she doesn't know any other way. I mean, what are the tools she has available to her, right? To get you, she's going to say, hey, your purpose is interfering with our relationship. The relationship to her is always going to be number one. For you, it's going to be your purpose. And she's saying that's taking away from it. And so, yeah, she's competing with it. And you got to stop that competition by showing her that you're still there for her and that she feels heard and understood. Again, the 5 love languages might be very helpful for you, but they're not going to help you unless you start hearing what she has to say. Maybe you open up, and there's all kinds of things you can do to help her feel heard and understood. But she just needs to know that you care about her, and you care about the bills, and you care about all these things, and she needs to know that you're there with her, you're fully present. Have a real conversation with her in the way that she needs. And, I think she feels like she's being neglected. So I think if you just do that, you just sit down and have that conversation, that'll turn things around. But you also need to commit to really filling her up all the time so she doesn't feel like she's competing with your purpose. Now, I know you got a lot on your plate, and I know you're trying to balance a lot of things, being an entrepreneur and starting a job. I understand what that's like. It's hard. You got a lot of shit you got to do, and you got to do it all yesterday. And you hit these blocks, and it's very frustrating, but it's also incredibly rewarding. But I have faith that you can do it, and fill her up and send me an email in the next 3 months and tell me how it goes. That's all I got for you, man. Good luck and Godspeed.